Hello, Notjust developers. Welcome to a new live stream of the Uber clone series. I'm happy to see everyone here because, today we've come a long way and we are approaching the end of the Uber series where we have built a lot of things, a lot of new things we have learned all together, starting from the user side up, setting up everything in the UI, managing the maps and so on. Then we went with the backend. After that, we implemented the driver side up. And today, our goal is to connect everything together with the same backend, with the same Amplify backend, and sync the user app with the driver app to have the same data and to work with the same data. Also to have like real-time updates. For example, when a user creates an order, then the driver will automatically get the order. He'll be able to accept, reject this order. And if he accepts, then we will start tracking his position, send it to the server here in the Amplify, and then subscribing to new updates, to live updates from the user side application, and displaying the position of a car on the map in real time. So I think that this is really nice features. Can you confirm that you can hear me well? Let me know where are you joining me from today. All right. Was I live from the beginning? Did you hear me, or was there any issues? Yeah, I'm not sure if everything is all right, but let's hope. So if anyone can confirm that we are live, then we can move on. Yes, let's go. So hello guys, hi everyone in the chat. Glad to see you here. Okay, where are we? So for everyone who is new to this live stream or who is watching this video after the live stream is published, hello, my name is Vadim. I'm glad to see you. I'm a full stack developer for over 7 years. At the moment, I'm the CTO at Vitinium. I also worked at Amazon, and I'm passionate about coding, building impactful startups, sharing this experience, and everything that I know so far with you guys here on YouTube. So if you are interested in that, please consider subscribing to my channel, because I have a lot of plans in future to build a lot of new clones, and not only. We have pretty interesting ideas coming on, guys, which I'm excited about. Okay, so for this build, what do you need? If you want to follow along, you will need a React Native environment setup. You will need a Google developer account, and you will need the asset bundle that includes everything that we'll use, for example, dummy data, images, icons, PDF presentation. So if you want to get the updated PDF presentation with the new slides, download the assets again, and there you'll find the updated PDF. This is the fifth video. Yeah, that's in this series. That's the longest series on this channel so far, because we went into more details, implemented more features. There is actually 2 applications, not one, a driver application and a user application. So if you haven't followed along previous videos, I highly suggest you start from the beginning, where we implement the user application, we implement the maps. In the third video, we implement the backend of the user application, and in the fourth video, we implement the driver side UI. So that was the previous video. However, if you didn't follow along, or you just want to start from here, then it's also possible. So what you have to do is clone the repository that you can find here on my profile, Uber clone, and specifically clone the branch with the name part4, and that is the branch with the code that we finished during the previous part. So the main branch will probably have the updated code and it will change in future, but the part 4 will always remain as it is right now, so we can start from the same page. Then you will have to create a Google developer account, follow and enable all the APIs that we will need. Get this API key because you will need to put it into the code and replace it in the whole project. I think now it's even more than 5 files. I think it's, I don't know, more than 5. Then you'll have to install all the libraries, and the last step will be to initialize and deploy the Amplify backend that lives in the user side application. So once you do that, then we are on the same page and we can start working. All right, so let's have a look here. Here is our repository. So if you clone it, you should see it like this. We have a folder for the driver application and we have a folder for the user application. These are two separate React Native projects. They're completely isolated. They are completely separated. They even could be separate repositories, but I decided to keep them together because they belong to the same bigger project. So yeah, our user application already has the Amplify backend here, and today we will connect the driver application to the same user application backend. So here on the left, we can see some of the things that we have built for the driver application. So when you open the application, you can put if you're online or offline. You can set your activity. Then let me refresh it. If there will be new orders incoming, you will see a pop-up. And if you press on the pop-up, you accept the order. And here we can see that we are picking up the client, and the map should show the direction to the client. It doesn't show right now. Probably I forgot to update the API key. So yeah, we're gonna go and update the API key, make sure that everything works, and then we'll connect this with real data. Let me put it here. So let's have a look at the chat. What are people saying? I see a lot of interesting questions, but they are not related to the Uber clone. So if you can write me on Discord, I'd be very happy to answer them, or I can stay after at the end of this live stream and I can answer some of them. Okay. Joining from Tanzania, Africa. Hello. Love to see you as well, guys. I'm so happy that that you came here. We are on the 5th Uber episode. Okay. Yeah, I see the questions. If you can send these questions in Discord, I'll be able to help. However, if you have some questions related to this build, let me know, and I'll try to stop and answer them. Okay, the first thing is let's have a look why our maps are not working. And the thing that I want to do is to check the API key, because I think that as far as I remember, I updated it, but it doesn't seem so. So let me open in the other screen the Google console and project. Select the project, credentials. I think I restricted the API key to my IP and something didn't work. What's that? This is driver app. But why only these screens? Okay, probably. Is it only this three? What's happening here? Driver home screen. Yeah, that should be it. Let me check my IP and see if I somehow restricted the API key to a wrong IP. So what's wrong with you? Come on. Should be working. Maybe my position. Yeah, the backend is built with GraphQL. Well, it's built with Amplify, but in Amplify we use a GraphQL API. So I'm thinking that maybe the location, my location on map is where features, location, custom location. Let me try here to put the driver app source screens in the home screen index. 28. Yeah, it's this. Come on, what's happening? Oh, it appeared. Probably it's too slow. Or maybe the location was not initialized and it only worked now. Yeah, let me try to refresh to make sure that everything is still working. Here, yeah, right now it works. And yeah, there is a lot of logic behind the states of a order. So for example, if you are picking up the client and the map shows you the direction to the client, or you are actually dropping off the client and the map shows the direction to the destination, and so on. So we implemented a lot of logic here. If you didn't follow along the previous build, yeah, this is quite a huge file. It's in the home screen, yeah. On decline, on accept, on direction found, yeah. Okay, so nonetheless, our application is working, the driver side, which means that we can start configuring Amplify in the driver application. Yeah, the first step is to configure Amplify in the driver application. And the interesting part about this is that we need to use the same backend as the user application. We don't need to create a new backend because we want to share the data between these two applications. So if we look here on the, where is it? Yeah. Yeah, if we look here, On the right, we can see that we will have the same Amplify backend, and we will have two separate applications that will communicate with the same backend. So in order to do that, Amplify has this command amplify pool, and this will allow us to pull an existing backend in this project. So we will be able to we are able to pull both the actual code of a backend and the metadata. And when I'm speaking about the actual code of a backend, I'm speaking about if I go to user app, Amplify backend, and here we have a code for our backend. Here we have, for example, our functions. Here we have our API with a schema, and we are able to pull everything that is here in our application. However, that's not recommended. Because if you pull the actual code and the actual backend, then and start editing it, then we have two sources of truth. So, for example, in the backend of a user app, you'll add one table. In the driver app, you'll forget to add that table, and then there will be conflicts. So it's better to pull only the metadata, and the metadata is where is it? Our app.exports, and this file is built and has only the metadata of a backend, and it knows like to which backend I should connect. For example, here is the ID of identity pool, the AppSync endpoint. It knows just how to communicate with that backend. So this is the preferred way to pull, to keep the whole logic, the whole backend in one place, and in the other application just to pull the metadata. So let's try to do that. I'll open the terminal, and I'm gonna let me open a new one, and I'm gonna go in the driver application folder, cd driver app, and from here I'm gonna do amplify pull. And why it takes so much time? Okay. Do you want to use an AWS profile? Yes, we want, and we'll choose the same profile that we used for our user application. And here it asks us which application you're working on, and it will give you a list of all the applications that you have created in Amplify. So I have a lot of them here, but we are interested in the Uber clone. Yes, we are. For the default editor, I'm gonna choose none. If you're using Visual Studio Code, choose that one. JavaScript, React Native, default. And this is the important part. Do you plan on modifying this backend? And based on this answer, it will pull the code and the metadata, or only the metadata. So we will say no, we don't want to modify this backend in the driver application. If we will need to modify the backend, we'll go into the user application, modify it there, push it, come back to driver application and pull it back. So we're gonna go with no, we don't plan to modify this backend. And that's it. Our Amplify backend is configured here. So if we go to driver application, we see the same AWS exports in the file, and this is the file that tells AWS Amplify how to connect to our backend. What's up with the yellow jumper? That's the brand, not just developer. This hoodie gives me power and energy. Okay, the first step is done. Pull the existing backend, and let's install the Amplify packages in our driver application. I'm gonna copy them from here. Come on. Yarn add. Let's install the packages. Okay. Yeah, the dependencies are installed. Then we can install the pods, and that's only if you're on iOS, on building for iOS. Hello, hi guys. How are you doing? So for everyone that is just connecting, I'm gonna give a brief overview. We are building today, we're finishing today our Uber clone series. And now we are connecting the driver application to the backend that we created for our user application. And we'll implement more interesting features like real-time location syncing with from the driver application to the user application, so the user will see in real time where is the driver, where is the car on the map. So yeah, that's the plan for today. We install this. Okay, that's good. The next step is to configure our driver application. For that, we're gonna open app.js in the driver app folder. And here on top, we will import Amplify. Oh, why you're so slow? Amplify from Amazon AWS Amplify. We're gonna import the AWS exports, like the config that was generated from this folder AWS export. And then we're gonna call amplify configure config. And that's it. And now we can run our application again so that it will include the new libraries. And yeah, it should be the same. However, now Amplify is configured and we are ready to implement the features that we need next. Congratulations on Hashnag competition. Thank you very much. Yeah, it was a really fun project. We were in the first, in the top 10 by the end. So yeah, I'm very happy with that. Yeah, building an application in 12 hours is not that easy. Hi, may I ask if there is any notification design in this application? We will not manage, will not have time to implement the push notifications, at least not in this video. Maybe we will do one more for notifications, but yeah, I cannot promise that. But yeah, I'm thinking of extending my builds that I already have on the channel with extra features, because there are a lot of extra features that you can implement. And but yeah, if I'm gonna go with that route, all the builds will be, I don't know, 10-15 series or even longer. So I'm thinking how to do it better, because there is a lot of interesting and cool features that we can implement and that can be very helpful for you and for other application that you are building. For example, push notifications, analytics, pagination if you have a lot of data, filtering, yeah, filtering, and a lot more. So I'm thinking how to do it. Hello from I cannot read that city name. Unfortunately, I've just logged in, so I didn't follow the beginning. Yeah, we just started. Yeah, it's already half an hour. So yeah, you can follow along after this video ends, because the video will be published on my channel as usual. Correct me if I'm wrong, live location for driver is only supported by premium Google Maps API, right? What do you mean by premium Google Maps API? Yeah, like you need to enable the payments in Google API in order to have these maps, and you're gonna be charged for every request, like a couple of, I don't know, like exact amount how much you'll be charged. So you should get into that and check for yourself. But yeah. Hey, how much does WebStorm cost? I have no idea. I'm using WebStorm from my university because they are providing the license for it. But I'm finishing my university in a couple of months, so I think that I'm gonna move to VS Code. But I'm looking forward to that because I know that a lot of our community is using VS Code, so I think that would be better if I'm gonna also use VS Code, so we're gonna be on the same page. The next step is, okay, we installed the Amplify packages. Okay, the Amplify is configured. Let's move on and configure authentication. So if you remember from the previous video, when we wanted to configure authentication, the first thing that we were doing is to run amplify add auth, and that was creating this authentication. But in our case, we already have our authentication. If I write amplify status, not sure if it's with status, but yeah, we already have our authentication that we created for our user application. Yeah, it's not here. I think I have to call amplify status from the user side application. Yeah, but the thing is that we already have this service added. It's there. We just need to use it. So let's just with one line of code. Where let me just think. Yeah, import with authenticator. Oh, that's a mistake. Yeah, I think like this. And we're gonna import it from AWS Amplify React Native, and just with this line of code, our application. Oh, come on. Our application is supposed to have authentication. So let's open it here. Let's save. It didn't do anything. Amplify React Native with authentication is not function. With authenticator. And now restarting it. Let's see. Come on. It doesn't show us the authentication, but I think that is because I already tested this and it remembered me as it remembered the token and I am authenticated. So I'm just gonna call real quick auth.sign out. Let's save. Yes, and let me remove this sign out. So right now, yeah, the thing was that I previously tested it and it remembered me as authenticated. So now if we go to the application, to the driver side application, we see the login screen, and here we can either create an account from scratch, or we can use the same account that we are using for the user side application. So I'm gonna use the same account, which I think had a username Vadim. And I'm gonna sign in, and we are in. So the next time if I refresh the application, and if my emulator would like to refresh, please, yes, then we are not gonna see the login screen because yeah, it remembers us as logged in. So we share the same Cognito user pool, and all the users that we are registered either in the user application or in the driver application, they share the same account. So they can sign in the user application, then go into the driver application, log in, and so on. In real life, probably you would put some restrictions on that. I don't know how it happens in the Uber. Probably you get an invite or you get accepted, you apply somewhere. I'm not sure, but for the simplicity reasons, we're gonna keep it this way. Also, you can add different users to different groups. So you can create a drivers group incognito and add all the drivers there and give them extra access to extra services and features and manage their manage their access from there. All right. Our authentication is configured, and we are logged in the application. So let's go back in our user application and have a look at the Amplify backend schema. At our schema. Let me close this. Okay, we have a user in our backend, and we have a car. Now, in the user application, every time a user signs up, we created a function that automatically creates a user model in our database. So whenever we sign up with a new user in Cognito service, we automatically create a new user in the database. Now the thing is that if that user is a driver, we need to create a car as well. So we need to assign one car to each user that is joining the driver application. So we can do that in a bit hacky way. So every time the user opens the driver application, we will check if that user has a car assigned to him. And if not, we will gonna create a new car for him, because that's probably his first time that he is joining the driver application. And all the information about the user will live in a separate table with his email ID and so on. And all the information about his car, let's say it like this, things like the position of a car, the orders of a car, and so on. The availability of a car will live in this type, in this model. Okay, with that being said, let's add a one-to-one relationship between a user and a car, so we will be able to query them easier. And our relationship will depend on the ID, because both for a one-to-one relationship, we'll have both car ID and user ID the same, representing that they belong to the same user. Okay, for car, the car will be a car, and it's not required, because user that join the user side application will not have any cars. So the car will be a connection. And let me think. Not sure, but let's try just to say that the fields are ID. Do we need a key name by user? Probably not. But no, let's do it. Let's do it this way. Yeah, let's do it this way. And we'll just have a normal user ID here representing who is the user of this car. So user ID will be a required ID. User ID. Yeah, something like this, user ID. And a user will be a connection fields user ID. And then we will add also a key to this model, and we can take it from here because we are lazy and we don't want to type. Yeah, it's gonna be by user and fields on the user ID. And here when we make the connection with the car, we say that the key name will be by user. So it'll be car by user. Yes. Yeah, that's better. That's regarding the connection between a user and a car. Now, before going into that step, let's think about what other fields we will need in our database. And I think I had some notes because we will update our API. So in order not to wait 2 times, we're gonna add the fields right now. For example, a car should have a variable that will define his availability. For example, if he's looking for orders or if he's active or not. So we can add it here. I don't know, probably is active is not the best name, but that basically means that this car is looking for orders, is on the market. So is active will be Boolean. And let's keep it as not mandatory, because if it's null, then we can say that it's false. We can assume that it's false. So we have is active on our car. What else do we need? Oh, and also on the order, we didn't add any status, for example, because we will need this. The order can be in different statuses, like can have different status. For example, it's a new order, or it's the order is in picking up the client, and so on. So based on this status, we will be able to decide if we want to display to new drivers, because if status is not new, then it doesn't have we shouldn't show this order to new drivers, because it means that someone is already picking up a client, and also finished and so on. So our status will be of type string like this. All right, so let's I think that's it for now. Probably we'll need something else, but we'll add it later. Let's open a new terminal and go in our user side app, because we created changes to the backend, and our backend lives in the user side application. So now we can say amplify push, and it will push all the changes to an error core, no such file or directory. That's interesting. Oh, why? Amplify team. Okay, I see the issue is something with the path, because in the Uber clone it should be user app and then amplify. But where is it? Is it somewhere in the AWS export? Where is it trying to find this? Where is this coming from? Let me do quick search in the whole project. Like this. Nothing. Like this. There was pulling the backend environment. Very weird. No, but I should be able to find somehow who is referencing this file. Maybe not JSON. Team provider info. No, come on. Think. We moved it around. Let's do amplify status. API update. Yes. And why I don't want to update? Amplify push. Is it amplify push? Yeah, I think so. No such file or directory. Amplify pull, but I don't think that's a good idea. No, local changes detected, so we don't want to override them. Amplify init. Yeah, I'm just messing around, hoping that something will work. And if we try to push now, will you work? Please, let's be friends. Yeah, I hope it fixed the problem. Patching updates, and we updated the API. Yes, we did. Oh, come on. Connection is to a single object, but the key name by user was provided, which does not reference the default table. Okay, I think we did a mistake there. By user ID. It has user ID. Why the key name was not saved here? Did we forget to add it? No, but I remember that we added it. By user. No, by car? Oh, what I'm doing. Yeah, it's a bit. No, Vadim. I thought that this is the user model. So here, fields user ID. Yes. By user ID. What was there again? Created at is of type ID to support created at is the type of ID. Order? No, I don't have. Why is created at ID? Should be string. But probably that's not the problem. connection is to a single object, but the key name by user was provided, which does not reference the default table. So here, all right, the car is connection. I think we don't need a key name because we not here. Why I'm doing these mistakes to the car? Because we connect to a single car. It's not a many to many. I probably have never worked with a one-to-one relationship, because usually when I have a one-to-one relationship, I put them in the same table. But here it makes sense to have a one-to-one relationship between users and cars. Right, update, let's try. GraphQL schema completed. Okay, this seems to work, but we'll see if it actually works. Do you want to update the code? Yes, we want. Andrei, hello. Ruby on Rails programmer here. Hello. I heard so much about Ruby on Rails, but to be honest, I think I have never saw a code like written in Ruby on Rails. I don't know how it looks. Hey, this is really great work. Sadly, I can't stick around, but hope the stream goes well. Thank you very much. So yeah, the stream will be published after the live stream. It will be published on my channel, so you can follow along after that. Vadim, you're really amazing. Only person on YouTube who really teaching on project based. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And yeah, I think that project based learning is the best and easiest way to learn. And also it's a lot of fun to learn this way, because you're not spending time, I don't know, reading books or reading documentation, but you're actually building stuff. So time passes very fast when you're into work and you're trying to achieve a specific goal, you're trying to implement a specific feature, and you don't even realize how you learn new things, how you start Googling, like how to do that, how to connect that with this. And this is how is the best way to learn, in my opinion. Hey, science and space for kids. Hello. Bro, are you using Linux? No, I'm not using Linux. I'm on Mac OS. Are you reading comments? Yes, I am. Hello. All right, I think that while this is updating in the backend, we can actually start working on the feature that we were working on. So whenever we open the driver application, we want to create a new car object in the database if one already doesn't exist. Okay, let's close everything. Close all tabs. And let's open driver app.js. And here we'll need we'll need authentication, and we will also need the API. And what else we will need? We will probably need also a GraphQL operation from here, like this. For the GraphQL operation, Mm, I'm gonna grab from the user application, from the, where is it? Source, right? GraphQL, and from queries, I will grab the get car query. Yeah, here it is. Here we see export const get car. Let's copy this query because we will need it. It's in user application, this query, and it is auto-generated, but we will need it here in our driver app. So in the source, yeah, I'm gonna create a directory, probably GraphQL. And here I'm gonna create a file queries.js. And paste in this information. But we actually don't need that many fields. We need only to see if the car with this ID exists or not. So probably we will delete everything except the ID. So the query will be a bit more optimal, because that's the idea of GraphQL. You query only what you actually need. Get car. Okay, let's keep it like this, or better, let's say get car ID, because in future maybe we will need an actual query that will get cars. Let's import this get car here in our app.js. Import get car ID. Get car ID from source GraphQL queries, like this. And yeah, probably that's it. What else? From React, we will need the use effect. Use effect. Oh, Alexandra has joined the channel. Hello, Alexandra. How are you doing? So, all our logic should happen whenever we open the application. So to do that, we need to declare a use effect, pass here a function that is going to be called. And if we pass an empty array as the second argument, then this function will be called only the first time when the application renders. Here, let's declare a new function like update user car, and this is going to be an asynchronous function because we're going to work with that API there, and yeah, and let's call it right away. Yeah, we need to do that, like to declare a function and then call it, because we cannot have asynchronous code directly here, so we cannot say await something, because our function is not async, and it cannot be async. So that's the life hack. And here we will need to follow a couple of steps. First one is get authenticated user. Then check if the user has already a car, and if not, create a new car for the user. Okay, let's start with the first step. To get a current authenticated user is equal to auth.current authenticated user. And we can also say bypass cache true, so we make sure that it's not taken from cache, but it's actually from, it does a request. What can we check? Let's fail first. That's my approach. Fail first. fail early. So if there is no authenticated user, then we return from this function. We don't do anything. Yeah. Then here, yeah, we got the authenticated user. Now we should check if a user has already a car. To do that, we're gonna do a query with a getCar ID to see if we receive. Sorry, guys. To see if we receive anything from the database. So here we'll have const car data is equal to await api.graphql, and in the GraphQL we send a GraphQL operation, and the operation will be get car ID, and the ID of a car, will be the ID of a user, will be the ID of an authenticated user. So let's, yeah, the ID will be authenticated user dot attributes dot sub, and this is the ID of that user. Yeah, I think that's how it should be done. Let's first of all console log the car data. Initially, it should be null, and then we will check it here. If it's null, we will create this car for the user. All right, let's restart. Where is it? Somewhere here. It should console something. Yeah, here we see data. Data get car is null. So let's check for this data get car, and let's check if it's null. Let's do it like this. Let's again fail first. If car data dot get car is not null, so we leave it like this. If it's true, we can even put double negation sign. If it's not null, we can say console log user already has a car assigned, if it's not null. However, if it's null, we need to create this new car for the user. Let's do it here. Okay, let's define the new car. Const new car is equal to, for the the car will need an ID. I can open the, where is it? The Amplify, the schema, so we can see what fields do we need to send to the car. We need an ID, we need a type. ID, we will need a type. Latitude, longitude, and heading is not required. Is active is not required. User ID is required. So here, and user ID. For the ID and user ID, we will pass this authenticate the user ID that we have here. So they will have the same ID, and we will be able to easily query them. For the type, here you can continue this and create this feature that the user will be able to select his type. However, I think I'm gonna hard code this type, but I don't know what types do we have. Let me just check. What do we expect there? Screen component, Uber type row index. Yeah, Uber X probably, right? Let's hope that it's this one. Where is it? Okay, the type is Uber X. Okay, we created the new car object. And let's add it to our database to call this API, the API GraphQL operation. And here we need a mutation, and we need the mutation that will create and submit this car. If we go back to our user application, because that's where we have all these queries, GraphQL mutations. Here we see create user. No, that's not what we actually need. Update user, delete user, create car. Yeah, this is the one that we actually need. Create car. Oh my god, so many fields. Yeah, we'll clean it a bit, so it's gonna be much. Yeah, the query will be smaller. So let's go back to the driver application, source GraphQL, and here, besides the queries, we'll need to add a new file, mutations, .js, and add this mutation. And let's what? Create car. Yeah, but it's a lot of information there. We don't need to query the orders of that car. Okay, we can query the user ID. We don't need the actual user created at. Yeah, let's leave it like this. Only the information about the car. Only information about the car. Create car. So let's go back to our driver app.js, and here in GraphQL operation, we will need to send that mutation. But first, let's import it. So the same way as we imported here the query, we will import the mutation create car. The mutation will be create car, and the variables will be what are the variables? What does it expect? Oh, it expects an input, and that input will be the new car. Let's save and see if everything works as expected. I'm gonna open the debugger here and wait for some logs to pop up. Come on. User already has a car register. This means but why are you trying to register a car if user will? Oh, because we console log, but we don't return. So yeah, don't forget to return here. Let's save. It was just saying that the user with the same ID is already conditional check fail exception. Like the user with this ID is already in the database. Yeah, but the thing is that now it created once the user, it created once the car, and the next time when we open it, it should say that the user already has a car register assigned. And this error is coming from the analytics plugin that we didn't set up, so don't worry about that. All right, so now we have this login set up, and whenever the user logins in the driver application, we automatically create a new car for him. So the next time when, for example, another user goes into the user application, he will see that car on the map. Okay, let's. I think that it's a good idea to commit everything. I'm gonna go into the root directory and do git add, git commit of. Okay, the first step is done. How are you doing, guys? How did you find that? Yeah, I see a lot of people in the chat. Anything interesting happened? Let's smash the like button, please. Yeah, thank you very much for reminding everyone to destroy the like button. Thanks. Hello, Vadim. What is the best tool to maintain on-device data persistent in React Native project? It really depends on like what library do you use for data management. For example, at my startup, we are using Apollo client, and there is a library to persist the data from Apollo to the device. If we're speaking about Amplify has this service data store, Amplify data store. And this service gives you the ability to build an offline first application. So your backend data, like your API data, like remote data, will be in sync with a local database. So you can check this out if you're building with Amplify. If you're using Redux, I know that there are solutions from that as well. Yeah, check it out. Do we need some knowledge about AWS to know about the code? Yeah, some knowledge about AWS will help you with Amplify. However, it's not required. Amplify tries to make it easier and easier to get started and to implement the backend features and especially targets the front-end developers. Yeah, it makes it easier. However, it's still a bit more technical than, let's say, Firebase. But yeah, they are improving a lot, so it gets easier and easier. What's anything interesting? Okay. All right, let's continue with our build. So I see that a lot of people are joining and are new to this live stream. Where I'm somewhere here. Hello, guys. Thank you for joining. Let me real quickly tell you what we are doing on this live stream. So on this live stream, we are building the Uber clone in React Native and AWS Amplify. And this is the last episode in our series. And today we're connecting everything to the same backend, exchanging data between two different applications, between a user application and a driver application. We will have a real-time sharing of a location between the driver and the user, and a lot of more interesting stuff. Yeah, on this, if you're new to this channel, here I'm doing project-based learning, and we are cloning popular application that you probably use every day, like Instagram, Twitter, WhatsApp, what else? Airbnb, Uber, and so on. We're cloning them in React Native and Amplify with educational purposes. So if you enjoyed this, please consider subscribing to the channel because there will be a lot of more builds coming up. So say be focus. That being said, let's move on with the next feature. Someone is asking where to start. I would recommend you to start with the Tesla clone. Check it out on my channel. It's a very beginner-friendly application. It's less than 2 hours, and in less than 2 hours, you will build your first React Native application. And it has a lot of cool features there. It's only front end, and it's very good to get started. Moving on, configure authentication was done. Update availability of a car. So in the home screen, what does that mean? Let's decline this order. In the home screen, here we display that you are offline. This right now, I will close all the tabs and show you some code. So this is our home screen. And if we scroll on the top, is online is just a local state in this component. So our goal is to have this is online. Yeah, probably is online would have made more sense to call it in our GraphQL API, but we called it something else. We called it is active. Okay, get user or get car. Which one? Get car. Let's get the car. Okay, we will need to run this query to get the details of the car from the backend. And instead of working with a local state variable, we will work with we will fetch the data from the backend and use this is active flag from the car to display if you're offline or not. All right, let's do it like this. I'm gonna copy the get car query from our user app. I'm gonna move in the home screen and I'm gonna put it here, like very close to, or no, let's put it in our GraphQL queries to keep them all in the same place. Get car. Let's think of what we will need. We will definitely not need the orders because these are the orders that the user already had. We will need new orders. Will we need the user? Yeah, we might need the user, but we will definitely not need the car of a user. Okay, let's keep it like this. It's probably we can still delete some of the fields that we don't need from here. We'll need, but yeah, let's start from here. Get car. So in the home screen index, yeah, I think we can remove them, this origin and destination, because we don't need them, but let's keep them. This reminds us of where we started from. All right, let's import the libraries that we will need. We will need API and GraphQL operation, and also let's add it at the beginning, authentication service from AWS Amplify. And from the queries, we will import the get car from GraphQL queries from here. What do we need to do here? Okay. Whenever the home screen starts, like whenever it renders the first time, we need to fetch the car data from the backend. For that, we are gonna have a use effect. And I'm gonna create this function, but I'm gonna create it outside because maybe we'll need it to call it from somewhere else as well. So we'll have a function const fetch car, fetch car sync, and here we're gonna try to fetch this car. So error, like that. So in order to fetch the car, we need to know the user ID that we want to fetch the car for. So to do that, we're gonna say const user data is equal to await authentication, get current, come on, give me good recommendations, autocomplete. Current authenticated user. Then const car data is equal to the API.GraphQL. We want to do this GraphQL operation and get the information about the car. And GraphQL, operation. And the operation will be get car. And the variables will be, I think ID is going to be user data dot attributes dot not ID but sub, like that. So let's console log first of all the use car data to see what we get here, and let's not forget to call this fetch car in our use effect, and also let's not forget to add the dependencies array, because if we don't, this fetch car will be called every time the component updates, so that's not very optimal. Unexpected token, we're here. We don't need, we need that here. Let's save. It's there. And data get car ID is active is null, that's okay. User is null. It doesn't properly do the connection between the user and the car. Now for us, it doesn't really matter because we can query directly the car. So I think we will not even need this connection between the user. I mean, it's there, like logically it's there, but we will not need to query the connection. But that's okay. If that will be a problem, I'm gonna tell you. We can save all this information about the car in state and then use this is active to decide if a car is active or not. My position. Okay, car const is online. I'm gonna add a new state car and set car, right? And use state initially is gonna be null. We set the car with the things that we receive here. Set car data dot get car. Like this. And what do we need to do next? A render bottom title. Yeah, right now this is online. We should replace the is online to the car.isActive. So let's have a look where we use this is online. On GoPress. Here on GoPress we will update the car. Okay, that's not what we will need. Here, where else? Oh, here. So if is online, we show you're online. If not, you're offline. So here we'll say if car dot is active, then we will show you're online. Let's save. Let's decline this order, and it says you're offline. Okay, let's assume that it works and move on with updating the car. Is online where? Okay, set is online. We are calling whenever we press on this go button, because right now it will not display anything here. Oh, one more place. We display the text of a button go or end based on if the user is online or not. Where is that button? Yeah, here is online. If it's online, we display end, otherwise we display go. So we replace it with car is active. So if car is active, we will display end, otherwise go. Let's now, whenever we press on the button, we should update the is active field of a car. So here on go press, update the car and set it to active, or yeah, like inverse the active. Let's import the update mutation of a car, and we can do that by going to our user application source, GraphQL, mutations, and here we have update car. Let's copy this update car. Oh my god, it's when I see these long queries, yeah. Okay, we have a mutation update car. It will receive an input, and back we want only this information. We don't want more. So I'm gonna delete everything from inside. Make sure that you don't delete extra brackets. So it seems that I didn't. And let's paste in the data that we want to receive back after the update is complete. Okay, update car. Let's save. And let's go back to our driver. No, where? Yeah, to our home here where we were working. Let's import the from mutation the update car like this, and here we'll say try catch me if you can. Try. Okay, you know what, but no, it's okay. Let's get again the user data. The function should be a sync and const updated car data is equal to await API GraphQL operation, and here we send the mutation update car. And for the input, I think we need to provide the ID, which is mandatory, so it will know what car to update. And also we need to provide the fields that we want to change. So I'm gonna declare it here, const input ID is user data dot attributes dot sub and is equal here, and the is active. We're gonna do the same as we did here. We just invert the current user data dot is active. And after that, let's console log the updated car. Yeah, let's hope that it works and let's check it. Okay, let's decline this and let's press go. And updated car is active is true. So now, if you see, it didn't update anything, like the button is still the same, the text is still the same. However, if I refresh the application, I expect to see the text there, you're online, because in the database, it's already active. So not here. So let's refresh, come on, and see if that's true. Decline, you're online, and the button is end. Yeah, that works, but we want to update it right away. So we see that we receive the same data after updating the car. And I think it's a great way to set it back to state and update it with the new values. So updated car and data dot update car, right? That's how it was here. Update car, yes. Let's save. And now if we press end, it doesn't do anything. But if we refresh and do it again, set car, yes, should be. Decline order. Let's press on the end. What's going on there? End. Something interesting is happening. Console log update car. Is active is true. And why you're not updating? Is active is true, is active is true. What we call set car. What? That's interesting. Set car. You're online. That means it's true. Oh, why user data is active? Come on, Vadim. No, it's car dot is active. And now if I press end, we are offline. If I press back, we are online. However, this time it's not only locally in our states component, but it's also in the database. So the user can actually query only the active drivers that are on the map. I think that's it with this tab, update availability of a car, query the availability, update when driver changes it. Yeah, I think that's it. Let's check if where else do we use this is online. so we can safely delete it. On go press. No, we delete this one. Anything else? Yeah, which means that set is online. Yeah, now they are with gray and we can safely remove them because we will use the car.isActive. Okay, let's commit everything. Git add and git commit. Car availability. What a hard word to write. Okay. How are you guys? Are you following along? I'm just wondering from people in the chat, how many of you have discovered my channel with this video and how many have already followed some of my videos and so on. Vadim, haven't you planned too many features for the live stream? You're going to make it 12 hours. No, we already did a 12 hours live stream. This one, we're already 1.5 hours. I think we are good. Yeah, probably we should get going because we have some important things to implement. Yeah, I see a lot of people. Let me give you a brief overview what we are doing here. In this live stream, we are building the Uber clone in React Native and AWS Amplify. And this is already the 5th episode of the Uber series. And in previous videos, we built the user-side application that you can see here on the right. It has a lot of features there, like to order Uber, to see them on the map, and so on. Then we went on and developed a driver-side application. And in this video, we are creating the Amplify backend. And I just realized that I'm not sharing the screen. So yeah, that's what I was showing you. And in this video, we connect both the user-side application and the driver-side to the same backend, so they can share the data. They can share the same data. We will implement real-time GPS location tracking of the driver, so the user will see the driver on the map with updated position. Vadim, yes, I've get that a lot. Thank you. So yeah, we are halfway through this build. The next step will be handling the orders properly, because right now if we look here in the application, we see the order, but this is just a hard-coded order. So we need to implement like fetching the new orders from the API, and then also confirming a order, which means that we will change the status of a order. We will assign the car to the order so that the user will see that his order has been accepted. So yeah, that's a quick overview of what we are doing here. So if you enjoyed what you're watching, please consider subscribing to the channel down below, because I saw that probably 99% of the people watching the videos are not subscribed. So that's a lot. So should we move on? Subscribed. Thank you very much. Yeah. One person subscribed, then we can move on. Amit is saying I learned many things from you. Oh, that's sweet. Thank you very much. And I'm planning to drop more videos in future. So what is the plan? When we open the driver app, query existing orders, and also like we should filter to query only new orders. All right, that's gonna happen also here. Where? In the driver application source, source screens, home screen index. In this index file, we have here new order, and we just hard code it. And we just hard coded. The thing is that now this is just one order, but we will have an array of orders. So I'm not sure why I did that. But let's move the current solution with dummy data to support arrays, because that will help us later integrate it with API. So I'm gonna switch to new orders and set new orders, and this is gonna be an array that will contain just one order here, like this. And let's find where we're doing new order. On decline, we need to remove the first element from this array, because we are declining only one order. And you'll probably laugh, but I'm gonna Google how to remove the first element from a JavaScript array. Remove JavaScript. It's with split, but I will always forget them. JavaScript remove first element from array. Shift. Pop, pop, pop. Really? There is a method shift? The easiest way is to shift function shifts everything to the left. Slice. Yeah, I think it's with slice. But let's try with shift. I have never used the shift. So set new order, set new orders to the orders dot shift. New orders. Okay, let's save and we'll see. On accept new order, set order to that order, set new orders again to this. Set new orders like this. Okay, let's check where else. If new orders dot length is more than 0, and if we don't have already a order, because if we already selected a order, we shouldn't show the pop-up. Then new order is new orders at position 0. So to the pop-up, we still give only one order, like the first one from our array. On accept new orders at position 0. Save. And will it work? Let's do decline. Yeah, it kind of worked, but I'm gonna add more orders in this array. So if I add one more like this, different ID and different client name. Let's save. So first client should be okay, different type, Uber black. So first one is Uber X. If I decline this one, nothing happens. Nothing happens. On decline, new orders. console log. Let's see the logs. Refresh. Okay, here we have. Okay, let's decline it and that's weird. I'm gonna go with new orders dot slice. Start at position 1 and end at position. If you don't put end, oh, that's on accept, but I will do the same here. Slice and position 1. Refresh. Come on. Change. And here, if we decline, now we see the next order. We see Uber Black. And if we decline the next order again, we don't see any of them. And also, if we accept the first one, we should not see the pop-up. Even if there are new orders, we already accepted the first one. So if we take the first one, yeah, picking up the client. Yeah, right now we switched a bit the logic, so it will work with arrays. And now is the time to integrate the backend. And for that reason, we will not need this information. Okay, let's leave it. So we're gonna just check if we have the same type information. However, we'll create a new function, const fetch new orders. Fetch orders is again a synchronous function. Try and catch. And we will need a query for the orders. So let's go to our user application in the queries and check the query for the get order, not get order, but list orders, because we need a list of multiple orders, not just one. So I'm going to copy this from the user queries, and I'm going to go to the driver application, source GraphQL queries, and add it here. And as well, we're going to change some things. So for list orders, okay, we have information about the order. That's fine. We have information about user. That's also good. Information about the car. And update. Yeah, I think that yeah, this query makes sense. Like, it doesn't have a lot of crazy information. It has information that we actually need. The interesting thing will be to query only the orders with the status new. So yeah, let's first list all the orders and then add some filters to it. Fetch orders. Let's import this. Where is it? Get car, and here list orders. Okay, in the fetch orders, we're gonna do const orders data is api.graphql, And we're gonna send the GraphQL operation, the list orders operation, list orders, and we don't need any variables so far. We will need it when we will add filters. And let's set new orders with the orders data.list orders. I think that I've got it. Okay, I think that we're not gonna implement filters in this video. It's gonna take a bit of time to test and to show you that it works, but the way you will do them, you will add here in the variables, you see here there is a filter variable, and you're gonna add filter, which is an object, which is gonna be status, again an object, and here equal to new. So as far as I remember, this will make sure that we get only orders with the status equal to new. But as we don't have any orders with status equal new in our database, let's try it like this. Let's save. And let's think. Yeah, let's delete everything from here. Let's save now. Nothing there. Fetch order, because we didn't call fetch orders from anywhere. So I'm gonna call fetch orders here with a fetch car. Save. Waiting. Nothing is shown. Let's console log them. Maybe indeed there are no orders in the database. Maybe. Where is it? Not here. Come on. Come on. Reload. Yeah, it is live. Pushing pandas. It's live. I'm here. Hello. Welcome to the live stream. Data, list orders. Yeah. Oh, list orders dot items. Yeah, that's what we need to do. List orders dot items. Save. And oh, here it is. The first one, it's a UberX. Let's decline it. And probably all of them. Yeah, there were some like comfort and so on. Can retrieve property rating of null. New order dot user. That's in new order pop-up. New order pop-up. New order user rating. So I'm gonna put here a question mark. And save. And see if it works. Yeah, we declined all the orders that we had. Yeah, right now our orders are queried from the backend. And if we add this filter, then we're gonna query only the new orders that are in the backend, because right now we're querying all of them. Yeah, probably it's not a problem, but you can adjust it by adding this one. And make sure that whenever you create a new order from the user application, you add this property status equal to new. I'm gonna do it right now. Source. in the user app source, let's go to screens, search results index, and here somewhere we want submit. We do input car ID 1, and here we say status equal new, and all the orders that are placed by a user will have this status new. Yep. Yeah, that's probably it with git commit, with fetching orders from the API. If we select one, we are picking up someone. Picking up, it doesn't display the name because it doesn't have a name. It has a username. So where is the title? Instead of name, we will say username. Save. Yeah, now picking up Vadim. And here as well, dropping off order username. And here as well. On the car changes position, update this in the backend. Okay, that's gonna be the next step. I think, yeah, I should go and grab some water. How are you doing, guys? How is it going? Are you enjoying it? Can you make a clone of any app which shows payment gateways? Actually, I'm preparing a video which I'm gonna probably shoot tomorrow, which teaches you how to integrate subscriptions in the application. So yeah, it's not not an actual payment gateway. It's subscription, in-app subscriptions with Google Play and with Apple. Okay, let me grab some water and I'm gonna be back in 1 minute. Yeah. All right, I am back. Why did not buy a new chair yet? I didn't buy a chair because I still don't know for sure where I will be staying. So if I'm gonna stay in Tenerife or not. So because yeah, I'm buying like I have a chair in another country, and then I left, and the chair is still there in Netherlands, and yeah, we'll see. Okay, the next step will be when the car changes position, we should update this in the backend. We should update this in the backend. And we have this. We have this function somewhere here. On user location change. On user location change, and here is when we should update the user position in the database. Let's check out our source GraphQL mutations. Update car. Yeah. We will use the same update car as here, but we already have it. Where? Oh, it's actually quite similar to this update. So can it be a sync? Let's hope. So the ID will be this one. The latitude. The latitude, and also we should set the longitude and the heading to know where the car is moving towards. Heading here. Hey, what's poppin'? So Raj, yeah, I'm gonna make a subscription-based application very soon. So probably the next week you will see a tutorial on that. The latitude will be event coordinate. Let's first of all console log this, console log position. I just want to see the name, so the latitude and longitude here. So I'm gonna comment out this one for a moment and open it here. Data. Do we need this data? List orders. Where is list orders? List orders. Don't console log because okay, we have here. Let's now try to change a bit the position. Going in the features, location, custom location. And change here from 2 to 3. Okay. Yes. So we need the heading, we need latitude and longitude. Okay, that's pretty clear. Going back here. We will do it this way. Because they have the same names, we will be able to destructure these variables from the coordinate. And the latitude will be equal to event.native event.coordinate.latitude, longitude with .longitude, and so on. And here we can even put them like this, because what this means is that latitude is equal to latitude. So we can shorten this up by providing only one input, update, add car data, set car, updating car data. Okay, let's try to save. And what? My position is, where is it used? Because we don't need it. We will work with a position from the car variable again. Set my position, no. Then map view origin is latitude, longitude. Come on, longitude. And these values we're gonna take from put them from new lines. The latitude will be car dot latitude, and the longitude will be car dot longitude. Map view direction. Okay, let's save. Let's move the features. Let's move a bit the car to see if it updates. 3, let's do 2. Okay, and it updated, and it shows from the position that the car is currently at. And this position is already updated in the database. I can show you that that's true by going to Uber clone here and doing Amplify console. And if we go to the API there, we will see that the coordinates are updated. So let me try to sign in real quick. Oh, this is the first time Amazon asks me to insert some digits. No, I'm not a robot. Okay. Okay, here is our where is our Uber clone? Uber clone here. In the API, let's view it in AppSync. Too good for Stack Overflow? No, Stack Overflow is my friend always. And in the queries, let's do list cars. And here, let's do items of ID of a car, the latitude, and the longitude, and the heading. And just understand which one is this one. I'm gonna go to check the is active, and all of them should be null except one should be true, this one. So I'm gonna grab the ID, and instead of list cars, I'm gonna do get car. ID is this one. and without items. So I'm just gonna get the information about this car. Okay, so if I do the query now, we see the coordinates, and let's go back to our emulator. Let's go to the features location, custom location, and this is a way to change the user location, the simulated user location on iOS. I'm not sure how to simulate this change of a user location in Android emulator, but I think it should be possible as well. So let's go from 2 to 6 for the latitude, and for the longitude from 6 to 0. Probably is too much. And yeah, it's on the water, but it's okay. And let's run again the query, and we see that yeah, it's the location that we just set. It's with 6 and with 0 instead of 6 here. So that means that we whenever the car will move on the street, this function onChange location will be called, and we will update the position and the heading of a car in our database. Yeah, an extra feature here would be, I don't know, to limit how many times the application will update it to the database. Maybe you want to update the location only once per second to limit the amount of requests. Maybe you will want to limit even like once per 10 seconds and so on. So it depends on you how to throttle this function so it will not go crazy in production, and it will not like fire every like millisecond and so on. That's it about updating car position in the backend, right? Okay, git status, and let's add everything here. Git update car position. So we updated the car position. All right, we are approaching the end, but this is going to be a bit interesting because we are moving to the user side application. We're going to have to create the order page. Whenever the user places an order, he'll be redirected to a new page, and there he will see a map with a position of a car. And we will subscribe to the car position updates, so we can update the position of a car on the user's phone. Okay, that's interesting. How are you doing, guys? Let's check some questions. Vadim, have you used any other services and other than AWS? If yes, which ones? I used Amplify for some of not Amplify, Firebase, sorry, for some of the tasks. But mostly I'm using AWS. AWS One Love. Automatic failure is calculated, bro. That's their formula. Like they have probably a formula based on the kilometers of a ride, the distance, I mean. And yeah, it depends on how depends on their business model. For example, if they want to charge 50 cents per kilometers, you're gonna have this function that's gonna calculate this fare. So I think that's how it works in their case. So where car position is stored? Car position is stored in the database. So we saw it here. Here is the API, but actually if you want to know exactly where it is stored, which probably doesn't actually matter, but yeah, here is the Amazon DynamoDB table that Amplify automatically generated for us. And this table contains all the information about the cars. So whenever the application updates the position of a car, I'm not sharing the screen. Yeah, but it's loading. So here in DynamoDB, oh yeah, whenever I was saying, whenever the position updates in the application, in the driver application, then it does a request to the GraphQL API, and this GraphQL API actually updates the position, the values in the car DynamoDB table. And here, if we look at the items, yeah, we should see this this item with heading 0. I think that this is the car that we're looking at. So yeah, this was the updated positions. Yeah, this is the database, and this is where we store the information about the cars. Do you have a video of your development tools set up? No, I don't. That's gonna be a good idea, actually. So thank you. For small application, would you recommend Firebase, or would you still go with AWS? It depends what you have in mind for like what is your end goal with that application. Because if it's just an application that you know that I don't know, for a university or something like that, but you know that it's going to be from here till there, and it's a small application, it's not going to grow, it's just for showing something. And if you already know Firebase, go ahead and implement it with Firebase. However, if you're starting a startup, and even though the application at the beginning will be small, I would highly recommend you to go with AWS, because you never know when you scale, when you start growing, and at that point, it's a good idea to be ready and to scale the application. And AWS, especially with Amplify, mostly everything is automatic, so the application will scale up to meet requirements from one user up to millions of users. So you code it once and never have to worry about, oh, the servers are going down. Yeah, of course, like in Firebase, it's also yeah, it's a backend as a service, so you're not gonna. It also scales. It scales well and automatic, but I think Amplify can handle better this amount of users. Okay, let's get going with the user side application. Create the order page, a map with position of a car. Create. Let's where is what? Oh, I have it somewhere here. I will close the development server of the driver application, because as I said, these are two separate applications. So I'm gonna go in the user app. No, it's called user app, PFD. Okay, like this user app, ls. What's happening here? Okay, that's good. That's good. So let's start the development server. Yarn start. And let's do yarn iOS. Let's open until the application is built. And let's hope that the application still works. Loading, loading, loading. Come on. What's happening here? Oh my god. Okay. So let's have a look at the could not connect to development server. Oh yeah, because that's the driver app. It's okay. So let's until it builds, let's have a look at the user app and what components we'll have to work with. So here we have a source, we have a screens, and here is the search results screen. And this is the screen where we will be able to place the order. So here is on submit. We do all the, we set all the origin, destination, and so on. The user ID and also the status new. And after creating the order, what do? We do an alert, your order has been submitted. However, in our case, now we want to implement a separate screen, a screen that will represent the order. I mean, when we place the order, we see a map. Initially, there won't be any cars because the order will be waiting to be picked up by a driver. And after someone takes this order, I mean one driver takes this order, we will see the car position, and then we will be able to subscribe to updates to that car and update the car on the map. So for that reason, what I'm gonna do, should I duplicate the home screen? It has a home map, home search. Let me just duplicate the home screen because I'm too lazy. And that's gonna be the order screen. And let's open the order screen, change a bit here, order, export order screen, and let's leave only the home map. What do we have here? Yeah, let's leave at this point only the home map. Probably on the bottom part will display something, but I'm not sure. Okay. Then we will, in the navigation, in the root, right? Home, your trips. Yeah, where should we put it? In the home? Custom drawer, no. Home, what do we have here? Home, destination search, search results. Yeah, I think that we can put it here. Order. Yeah, just order page. And that's gonna be the order screen. Yeah, like this. And then in our search results, instead of this alert, we're gonna do navigation.navigate to the order page. And we are gonna send the order ID that we get from response dot data dot create order dot ID. I think that's the way. We'll see. Save, and let's check what's going on here and why it's not yet running. Uber clone. Are you here? Are you working? Why are you building Uber clone again and again? Actually, we're not building Uber clone again and again. We are building a lot of features in the Uber clone. So we have built the user side application, we have built the driver side application, we have built the backend of both. Now we are connecting everything together. So this is a special build that we go a bit more in depth. Yeah, but I'm also looking forward to start new builds. I have a lot of ideas and a lot of cool projects that I want to build. So let's go with here in the user app. In the user app, I think I didn't change the API key from Google. So it is this one. Let's close all the tabs. And in the user app, let's go to Android app source main Android manifest and check if it's the same. No, it's not the same. That means that I'm gonna go and replace all with this API key, and the old one is from here. Let's hope that that's replace all. Let's save. I think I have to do again yarn iOS. Thank you very much, Raphael, for the kind words. So, any updates here? Come on, why are you not updating? Is there any errors that are not showing? None of this file exists. Okay, now it works. And let's hope it. Okay. Yeah, this as well works. I'm gonna go with current location. And after selecting the a Uber and confirming a order, we should be redirected. Yeah, we are redirected to the order page. Here, initially, there won't be any cars. But we will need to subscribe to the updates about this order. But first of all, let's Yeah, let's open our Amplify backend API schema. And we will need a subscription to the order updates, and also we'll need subscription to the car updates. Yes, from the order we will be able to see if we get a new car ID. Wait. However, from the actual car, we will be able to get updates about heading, latitude, and longitude. And to add these mutations, yeah, we will define the subscription here, because we want to subscribe to a specific order using the ID, and to a specific car using as well the ID. Let me open the docs from Amplify. And here is how to create a GraphQL subscription by ID. So by default, Amplify creates the subscriptions like on create, on update, and on delete, but they work like, for example, on update will be fired when any order is updated. So if you have a million of orders and one order is updated and a million of users, everyone will be updated. So we want to subscribe to updates only to a specific order. And to do that, we're gonna take it as an example, this subscription. Type subscription on comment add by post ID. We can say on order updated. On order updated, and the ID of the order will be this one, and we will receive the order. That's gonna be an AWS subscribe for the mutation, not create comment, but update order. And that's the same thing for on car updated, ID update car. Save. Now let's try to push these changes. Amplify console, not console, just Amplify push. So that this an Amplify error occurred, driver app. Yeah, because we are not in the user app. Amplify push again. Update, yes. The following types are not okay, that's okay. And yes, we want GraphQL API. Yes, yes, yes. Updating resources in the cloud. Okay. Let's now think about our next steps. So we have our screen, order screen here. We have a home map. Let's have a look at what home map actually is. So the home map will fetch the cars. Okay, I understand. Route map will also, okay. I think we could have implemented it a bit different, so that the cars was a property of a home map, but I'm okay with that, and I'm gonna copy and paste the home map from here and call it order map. Order map. And this is not okay. This is order map. Order map. We will not need the fetch cars, definitely. Get image, probably we will need it. That one, okay. So this, yeah, we will not need to loop through all the cars because we will only have one car, and there's gonna be only one image, and only if the car will be present. And the car we will receive from our properties. We will receive a car and we will receive, and that's it. We don't need to receive an order. We only need to receive a car. So here on the map, we will check if car is not null. Then we'll render this marker. And yeah. Car ID, car latitude, longitude, car heading. Let's save. It shows me that it has some issues. Yeah. And let's refactor everything that we don't need from here. In our order screen, let's import not home map, but order map. Order map components from here. And we will have to send a car there. And the car will be saved in the state, but we'll fetch it from the database. How this build is different from previous builds of Uber app. This is a continuation. This is not something new. For example, in the first episode of Uber application, we have built the UI of a user application. In the second episode, we have built advanced UI features like maps and autocomplete features for the search input. In the third episode, we created the backend. The fourth one, we created the UI of a driver application. And now we connect the driver application with the same backend as the user application. And we make sure that they are synchronized, the data between them. So that's a quick explanation, but yeah, they are not different. They are just one after another. So here we'll have a car, set car, use state null. Initially it's gonna be null. We will import it from React, and we'll send it to our car here. We'll also need information about a order and set order. But how will we get information about the order? We will do a query, but we need the order ID. So we will receive a order ID using the use route hook from navigation. Where is it? Import from React Native navigation, React navigation native. Let's grab the route, use route, and let's console warn route dot params dot id. So this should be contained the ID of a order because we send it there whenever we navigate to this page. And yeah, we see the order ID here at the bottom. That's good. Because with that ID, we can fetch the details about the order itself. Use effect is also from React. Let's do const fetch order async, and let's call it right away. We will import the import API and GraphQL operation. GraphQL operation from AWS Amplify. And we're going to import the query to get the order from GraphQL queries. Okay, here we need the list orders and also, get order and also the get car. Order data is equal to await API GraphQL. And here we will pass the get order and the variables. Let me put it from new line so we can see. The variables will be ID is going to be the route params.id. And we can set order in state to order data dot get order. Let's save. And we don't see anything, but if we want, we can have, I don't know, a view here down below. View saying with a text saying order status, just simply so we can know that it actually works. Will be order dot status. Let's import the text from React Native. Save. Yeah, we see here order status is new, and that means that we successfully fetch the order. We successfully fetch the order from our backend. All right. Let's see if resource is not in the state stack. Okay. Something. Schema has the following errors. The subscription has an invalid output type. Subscription has an invalid output type. Amplify backend API schema. What's your problem? Order car. Hopefully it's because of this issue. Are you sure want to continue? Yes. Yes. And yes. And now we'll have to wait a couple of more minutes so it will build in the cloud. But if we go back to the order screen, now let's think About the next steps, yeah. Let's register the same use effect to fetch the car. So we will register a use effect that will fetch a car. So order data, await API GraphQL, car data is get car, and we need to send the ID of a car. And to get the ID of a car, we can do it from order dot, I think it's car ID, order car ID. And here we'll set car to car data dot get car. But we should call this function whenever we update the order. So not when we start the application, because then we will not have any orders. Order will be null. So let's do here, whenever we update the order, we try to fetch a car. And we don't do it always. If order is null, or if no, let's do if order dot car ID is null, or if order dot car ID is equal to 1, because that's the hard-coded ID when we create a order, and that this means that the order is null, or we can do with status, right? But yeah, we can keep it with car ID, because if we go to the search results, here we can see that we set the car ID to 1, meaning that it's a wrong ID and there is no car, like it's a new one. So if car ID is equal to 1, then we will return, because we don't want to fetch, because there is no car with ID 1. Okay. However, otherwise we will fetch the car. Fetch the car. And yeah, let's wait a couple of more minutes so it will update. All resources are updated. Right now, let's check our source GraphQL. The things that it generated, source GraphQL subscriptions, and here we should see a subscription on order updated with the ID, and this is what we will need: on order updated and on car updated with ID, and the rest are the ones that are automatically generated. So you know what, I'm gonna take this to export, because I need to edit them. I need to edit what with the returns, but if I do it here, it's gonna be overwritten the next time we do Amplify push. So if you need to edit, never edit in this file, but copy it and move it to another file, for example in source components, where in order screen we will do we'll create a new file called subscriptions.js, and we're gonna put them here. And we need to update it because it's very important for the subscription to have the same fields, to return the same fields as the mutation that was run to update this data. If the fields are different, if one includes more fields, for example here we include more fields, then the subscription will just not run, and it's a very hard bug to debug, because it doesn't throw you any error. It just it's not triggered with subscription. And yeah, I really hope that that's not gonna happen. So let's have a look at what fields do we query whenever we set one order updated. And we do the one order updated in our driver application, source, GraphQL, mutations. And here should be somewhere create car, update car. But we never update the order. Really? Screen, home screen. On accept. Oh, we forgot to update the order here. Jeez. Okay. I think I'm gonna come back to this after we implement it in the user application, because it's gonna be harder to run again the server and change it and test it. And right now we're gonna follow with just updating manually the order from the Amplify console API, and it will open our console, and we can update it there. So we simulate an update that is coming from the driver. But then later in the video, we're gonna move there and finish it there as well. To Amplify console, we have here the API. Let's open it in AppSync. And we have a queries. Let's do it this way. Close all tabs. User app, order screen index. I want to, I need the ID of this order, so I know what I'm working with. The ID of a order is gonna be route params ID. Like this. And if I create a new order, yeah, let's select Uber type, confirm Uber, order status new, and let's get the ID of this order from the console, from here. Yeah, query get order, the ID is this one, and we need, yeah, let's get everything that we know about this order. What you know about errors, unable to parse because we are not logged in. Vadim. And now is active is true. Where is the status? And why are we working with a get car? Status is new. All right. Okay. Let's go with. Yeah, we'll have to decide here what information we need in the on order updated, because on car updated we already decided, but here we will We don't need the car. We don't need the user. Only information about the order itself. Yeah, I think that's good. This one. Subscription. Okay. Like this. So wait a second. Libraries, API, GraphQL, subscribe to data, GraphQL operation, and yeah, it's the same thing. In our in order screen index, we will need to subscribe to order updates. To do that, let's add some comments. Fetch order on initial render. And here will be subscribe to order updates. We're gonna also use a use effect, and we are gonna register this listener also whenever the component mounts. So we can say that we will return API not subscribe dot GraphQL GraphQL operation. The operation will be we didn't import it yet, right? Import from subscriptions on order updated. On order updated is the operation, and also we need to send the ID of a order. So the ID of a order will be same as this one. And here we do a subscribe. So the next will be the function called with provider value. Yeah, let's do just a console here. Save. An effect function must not return okay. It's a bit different. It's not returning this one. We assign it to a subscription, and we return subscription dot unsubscribe. But don't call the function, because we need to return a function. So we will return a function, and the use effect will automatically call it. Save. Okay. We have our console log. We have our console log here. Let's try to update the status and see update order is, and see if we get the notification. Update order, the input will be ID, this ID. Let me get some more space here. And there is the status will be not new but picking up client. So here update not car but order. And the important part here is from the mutation to return the same things as we subscribe to. So the same things if we want it to be called. Let's save. No, not like this. So our console is clear. Let's run it. Update query. The status has been updated, but let's see the debugger. Provider. Yeah, we get a new value on order updated with the updated status picking up client. All right, that's nice. So we can instead of just console logging, we can do like this. Set order, because we get updates, we need to set it in our state so we can work with it. Will be value dot data dot on order updated, value dot data dot on order updated. Save. We don't need the provider. Okay, we are gonna have to go again. Current location. Come on. Yeah, it will create a new order. And the status is new. And now if we if I can find Google Chrome. Yeah, now if we update the status here to dropping off, then we shouldn't see any change because this is a old order. This is an ID. This is not the new order. So I think we shouldn't get any changes. Let's run this one. Run update query. And yeah, we are not getting any changes. However, if we get this new ID, paste it into the update order here, and run now the query. If we look in our application without any updates, our order status right now is dropping up the client. So we didn't do any updates. I can do it again. Status, yeah, picking up the client. And I'm running the update query and have a look at the order status here. So I'm running it. It's instantly updated in our application. Okay, that's the good part. We subscribe to updates about the order status. And that means that, let's, you know what? Let's assign a new car ID because we still don't see the car, but that's because the car ID is still 1. So I'm gonna create a new query just to get cars to check which car I'm interested in. List cars items, and I'm interested in ID and also in is active because only that car is active that I'm interested in. Get cars, null, true, and this is the ID of that car. And I want to update the orders and set the car ID here, car ID to this ID. And if everything works correctly, if when I update the order and set the new car ID, the car should automatically show up on the map. Update order. What's happening? Oh, our car was way there. Get car. I'm gonna update the car. Update car. Update car, and input will be ID this, and I want latitude to set his latitude to our destination latitude. No, let's do it with origin. And longitude is gonna be this one. Let me update the update car. Validation error with value string is not a value. They are float, but I gave them string values. Update cars. Okay, it's updated. And here, let's run again the update order. Update order. Do we see the car? Yeah, something is not working there, but we can debug. So here, fetch car data when order is updated. I'm gonna console log the car data, save, and let's open it here. Can't read property state of undefined. Maybe that's fixed already. In the update order, state of undefined, unsubscribed. Should I do it like this? Subscription dot unsubscribe. API GraphQL subscribe and then unsubscribe. Yep, that's how it's supposed to be. Okay, new order. Okay, here is the new order. The status is new. Let's grab the ID. Let's grab the ID. What's this data? Go to AppSync. Update the order with this ID. And set the status picking up client and the car ID of that car. Update order. Picking up client. However, I don't see what's here. Errors. Cannot return non-notable type ID. List cars. List items. Null, 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 null. ID. Oh, that's yeah, that's get car. So it gets a car, latitude, longitude. Why it's not rendered? Latitude, longitude. Order map, car. Order map. We get the car. Oh, initial region. That's weird. 28, 16. Let's just console log car here. Car. Save. And open again our debugger. And the car. Car.latitude and longitude. Yeah, why it's... If car. Let me just try one thing. Latitude, this one. Will you show anything? And longitude, this one. Yes, it shows. Then what's the issue? Latitude and longitude. Maybe I just need to scroll a bit because it's not on the screen. 28 minus 16. What? 28 minus 16. Let me just update the car's position with this one because I think it is just not on the screen. So this one is 28. Yeah, I think it was not on the screen. And 16. Update. Update car. And what else? And update order. And now we see the car. We see the car on the screen. But this is the initial position of a car. So that's good. But we would like to subscribe to car updates. So whenever the car will update, we will automatically move it on our map. Fetch car, subscribe to order updates. I'm gonna copy the subscribe to order updates and do the same for here. Subscribe to car updates. So subscription API GraphQL operation on car update. Did we import it? No. On car updated. On car updated, variables will be order dot car ID, order dot car ID, and subscribe next value set car here with a value data on car updated. Yeah, I think that's latitude of null, cannot read property latitude of null. I just components, order map. Yeah. Save. Okay. Here in the subscription, we need to add the fields that our mutation is using whenever it's updating. So that mutation in our case is in driver application, source, GraphQL mutations, and update car. And these are the fields that it will include. So these are the fields that we are going to include here. Save. Going back here. Yeah, I think that we are good to go. So let's test it with Amplify from the console. Okay. Confirm. Cannot read property car ID. Okay, here. Okay. We're gonna do the same thing here. Whenever we update the order, we will register this subscription. All right. Confirm. Order status new. There is no car here. Let's grab the order ID and assign a car to it. So this simulates that a driver accepted the order. Not here, Vadim, but in the... Oh no. In the update order, and the order ID will be this one. And let's run the update order, picking up the client, and soon we see the car on the map. We see the car on the map. Now let's grab the same fields of the on car update and put them here and try to update the some of the fields here. I will do it with heading. For example, I'm gonna say that the heading is updated to 90 degrees. Let's try to update the car and see if it, and we get the updates on the app as well. Did you saw? It's almost instantly. So if I do 180, run it here, update car, it's almost instantly in our application. The car moves the position. Yeah. If I do 90 and move it a bit like this, save, yeah, update car, it shows how it moves. And here, if we do 60 and do 00, update car, it moves. Yep, it moves. 900, update car. All right, guys. This is really nice because we receive these subscription events and we are able to update the car in real time based on the changes that are happening in the backend. The only thing that is left that I promised to do is to do that change in the driver application where, first of all, let me run the driver application and then I can say what we still have to do. Come on, stop, clear. cd driver up. And then I'm thinking how to test it and show you that it's actually working. Yarn start. Yarn start. Now I need to practice all weekend. Thank you, man. So yeah, it's gonna be a productive weekend. And yarn iOS. Let's run it on iOS. What do we need to do? We need in GraphQL a new mutation to update the order, because we did not do that. We did not update the order. Source GraphQL mutations, and here should be somewhere update order. Update order, yeah, this one. And we're gonna copy it and move it to our driver app, GraphQL, mutations, and down below here, update order. And to keep them, to make sure to update the fields that you query back to match the fields that we defined in our user app source screens, order screen, subscriptions, and for here, not on car update, but on order update. It's important that on order update here contains the same fields as the in the driver application update order. Otherwise, we're gonna not receive the subscription events like this. And we go in the screens, index, and on accept we need to update the order, set change the status, and set the car ID to our car ID. All right, let's do it. Not sure if we will still need these two, but we'll try. So try catch So order data is equal to await GraphQL operation. The operation will be we need to import that operation, update order. Update order. We can do it. Yeah, let's go. What's happening here? Okay, still compiling. Interesting. Here on accept. So update order, and the input will be, do we have update car input? Okay, we'll send here the input, and the input will be const input. The ID of the order will be the new order, new order.id, and not equal .id. What else have we been updating here? Status is picking up a client. Status picking up a client. What else is car ID? Car ID is car.id. Car.id. And instead of setting new order here, we're gonna do it set order to order data update order. Yeah, probably something like that. On accept. Yeah, let's see if it will work. But we'll have to test. We'll have to test both applications. We'll have to run both application and have a demo, have a test if it actually works. What's happening here? Come on. Yeah, this live stream is yeah, quite intense. Yeah, after 3.5 hours, I'm a bit tired. Hopefully, you're taking it step by step and taking some breaks. Yeah, I think that I can build the user application and install it as a production version on an Android emulator. Or should I just open Xcode? Yeah, I think I'm gonna open it with Xcode. No, we have here an Android device. Let's go and try to build the user application. So cd user app ls and React Native build production. Oh, why the internet is so slow? Okay, we'll need to do GraphQL assemble release. So let's go to user app, then cd Android, and run GraphQL bundle release to build a release version of our user app that we can, so we will be able to test it on 2 devices. The user app will be the, yeah. Let's see if it will work. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that it works. It's gonna be just hard to test. And why it's compiling so long? Yeah, while it builds, I'm gonna grab some water because I don't have any. So I'm gonna be back in 1 minute. Oh, it's still building, right? Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, we'll have to wait a bit. It's so quiet in the chat right now. Did you guys put me on the background and minding your own business? Okay, build successful. So driver up. And one more thing, we can uncomment this filter and see if it actually works. Because right now we have this status new and we can test it properly. Let's open our console and let's do actually a list orders here. Query orders. Orders with a filter. Filter status equal new. ID items ID status save orders, and there are currently 2 new orders. Could not connect to development server. Why you could not connect to development server? It's here. Okay. What's going on here? Unable to resolve what? Something is happening. Let's just wait and see. I don't know why it takes so much time. And interesting. 60%. Let's wait. Maybe. Yeah, I have so many apps opened right now. My computer is going crazy. And also streaming. 2 emulators. Oh my god, this waiting, come on. Here I don't see any progress. 74. What should we do in this situation? Come on, come on, you can do it. $99 and oh really? That's not the end. And everything from the beginning, right? No. Has not been registered. It can happen. Metro local dev server is running from the wrong folder. What's going on? BFD driver application. Yarn start. Reset cache. Driver up. Let's do yarn iOS. Yeah, here I don't see any results, so I'm gonna cancel it and try again. I didn't think that testing would be so time consuming. And everything from the beginning. Great success. Oh, jeez. I think I'll give up on the idea to build the Android, because this might actually slow down my PC. So let me just close the emulator. Because we already saw, yeah, CPU struggles. Yeah, I think that as well. I think we already saw that the user application receives updates every time we update the data in our backend. And now let's do the last test in the driver application to make sure that it actually updates the data. It updates the the order in the backend, and then we are sure that the driver updates. We know that the user receives, so it should be working. I think I'm gonna do a video demo after the live stream, because yeah, my PC is struggling right now. And if there will be any issues with updating, I will create a pull request to the GitHub and add it in the description down below, so you can check it out to make sure that everything is working. Everything hurts already. I probably need a good chair for these live streams. Yeah, just let's make sure that this works. And reload. Okay, it's here. So right now we are fetching orders with that filter with status new. So I saw that there are only 2 orders with status new. Let's first of all decline one and decline second, and we saw all the orders. Okay, now let's accept the first order that we see. Let's accept it. Cannot read property username of undefined, and that's order dot distance somewhere. Order user. We don't know which user did that order, right? And let's accept this one. Username of undefined. Anywhere else? Yeah, here. Picking up. So now there won't be any orders, but let's have a look at this order. Get order by this ID, because this is the one that we just right now accepted from the app. And let's make sure that the car ID is the ID of our car. That's good, because it's not one. We know that it updated correctly the car ID of a order. Status picking up a client. That's good. And user ID. I'm wondering what's happening with a user here. User ID. Yeah, it should work. Username. Oh, no. we are not querying back this user. So yeah, the issue there that we had an error with throwing that the username is not there is because in order when we update it where driver app source GraphQL mutations, here we are not returning the user and the ID and username. And if you add this, make sure you also update the mutation in the user app so that they will the both mutation and the subscription will have the same data. I think I put a lot of emphasis on this so you will know. So yeah, that's I think that's it for today. I'm pretty sure that it works. I will do a video demo showing side by side. Let me first of all git add git commit -m, but no, not from driver app, but git add git commit -m. Yeah, subscriptions probably. And let's do git push origin main. And now all the code is available on the GitHub repository. So guys, finally we came to an end to the Uber clone series. We started this series previous year. We started it in 2020. Actually, that's a bit of nostalgia. And we have built five series we have done for this Uber clone. So it's a lot of content, guys. I understand, but I try to get into more details, into more depth to show you how we implemented a lot of new stuff in this application that we don't have in our application. And yeah, I think that's a good learning opportunity for everyone. We built two separate applications, one for user, one for one for driver. 1 second. Yeah, we built two separate user applications. We synchronize everything together in the same backend, and everything thanks to Amplify and how easy it makes to do that. A lot of work with maps, with directions, with map markers, with autocomplete features. Come on, like this build is packed with features, with things that you can take from here and implement in your application that probably you are working on. So I think that's the valuable part. Let me know down below in the comments if you have followed along and if you managed to build the full Uber clone. It would be really nice to see that people are actually following along and building their own Ubers. If you can add extra features, because there is a lot of extra features that you can add, that would be even better for you to learn better React Native, to learn Amplify, and all this stuff. So if you finish, send me a link to the GitHub repository, and I'll be happy to check it out. So guys, do you have any questions? Is anyone still here? Yeah, I think it's time to get into the weekend. Guys, thank you very much for joining. Thank you very much for sticking till the end of this long series. I really had a lot of fun, and I hope you find this valuable. If you enjoy what I'm doing here on the channel, please consider subscribing to the channel, because I know that 99% of you are not subscribed. Next week, also on Friday, also at 3 p.m., we are starting a new build. So I'm not going to tell you what we're going to do as the next build, but I'm very excited about it, and I'm pretty sure that all of you will love it, because a lot of you are asking me for it. So join me during next Friday's live stream. Yeah, subscribe to the channel, join the Discord, all the good stuff. So guys, I think that's it for today. Take care, stay hydrated, write clean code, and I'm out. Bye bye.